In this video, we will look at creating a VIP solution using a new tab on the incident form. First, we will extend the user class and add a VIPstatus property to it. Use the class browser to find domain, user, or group. Right-click and select View. When this opens, right-click again to extend the class, adding it to our blank management pack. We will then add a new property, VIPstatus, which will just be a string value. We will then seal the management pack. Now create another management pack for the incident form extension. Use the Forms browser to find the default incident form. Right-click View to open it, and then Customize to add it to our new management pack. In this example, we're going to use a new tab to display the information on the form. So drag a tab item control onto the form, but nothing is highlighting correctly. But if you drag it out so that the stop symbol appears, you can then drag it onto the tab bar and drop it in correctly. The tab order, however, cannot be changed. We can change the tab name to Xapity. Now we have a blank tab that we will use fixed positioning for all the elements we add. We will start with a heading, user information. This will be a label control using a larger font, and we will set the positioning and size of the control. Use Auto to allow it to resize correctly. And we will set the color to chocolate, which fits the incident theme. We will now place two panels on the tab in two columns, with the right one set to auto so it resizes with the window. The left column will be a fixed size of 250 by 250. We will position it under the heading and margins to be 20 from the left. Now drag out a label control and a single instance picker onto the panel. These will show the affected user. Set the label controls like we have in the previous videos. The margins are fixed within the panel and the label control can be set to 0 to place it in the top left corner. Rename the label content to affected user. Now for the single instance picker. We will change the binding to use the existing affected user relationship. We don't need to change any of the layout options. And we will just change the margins to place it under the label. Set top to 15. Now we will bring in some more label controls to display more information about the affected user. We will have two columns of controls, with the left column containing the label information and the right column the data. The label controls will use a fixed position in the panel, and we will set the width of each to 100. The first label is street address. Moving on to the second label, again set the layout options so we know where it is in the panel. Set top to 105 from the top. And this will be telephone. On the third label, again set the positioning and margins. Setting a width of 100 gives us enough room for the label text and will help set the position of the next column. Now we will position the next column of label controls. We will set the layout and margin options to get the controls in the correct position, and then we will set the binding path. This column will be set to auto width and horizontal stretch to fill up the panel and to allow a little bit of resizing with the window. Start the left margin at 100 to produce a nice column that does not overlap the first column of labels. Continue to set all three label controls using the top settings to match the corresponding label on the left. We now have three controls in a nice column. We will go back and set the binding path for each. Click on Binding to open up the existing class information, and then scroll down to see the existing relationships, and we will expand Affected User. We will choose Street Address for this label. Repeat for Business Phone and Department. Notice that once the bindings are set, the control appears to disappear on the screen. They are still there, but it is easy to lose them, so usually do this step last. Now we will add in the VIPstatus label control. This will be one label positioned just under Affected User. The idea is that it will show the VIP information if it exists for the user, and if not, it will be blank. We will set the color to red to make it stand out. Now we will set the binding path. For a custom property, we have to do this manually, but we will first choose City from the existing relationship and then manually change it. For a custom property, we need to take out the space between affected and user and then type in the property name VIPstatus manually. Now we will add in the second panel. This will be an auto sizing panel so that when the window is resized, it also resizes with it. It will have a fixed height, but will have a horizontal auto and stretch. Set the panel 300 left to clear the first panel, and with a right of 20 to pull it back from the edge. Now we will drop in a text box for the incident title at the top of the panel. It will take the entire top row of the panel, so we will set it to stretch and auto. Set all the margins to 0. Put in the second text box for the description, which will have an auto height and width, and a stretch for horizontal and vertical. This will allow it to resize completely within the panel. Set the margins to 0 except for the top, which is 35. Now we will set the bindings for this text box. Choose Description. As this is a large text box, we will want to set the Accept the Enter key for returns in the text box, and set the scroll bars on the vertical to auto. We will also enable text wrapping so that the horizontal scroll bars are not needed. Set the binding for the title bar. Save the management pack, and we will just check the XML for the VIPstatus reference. Open the XML file and search for VIPstatus. Check affected user has no space. Good. Remember to make a change on the front tab of the form so that it will open on that tab. Otherwise, it will open on the tab where we made the last change. Then seal the management pack. Now import the sealed user class extension management pack that has the VIPstatus property on it, and the incident form extension management pack into Service Manager. Restart the console and now go to Users. We have extended the user class, so we now have an Extensions tab where we can add data to the VIPstatus field we added. We will type in VIP to show on the incident form. Now open an incident form. We can see the new Xapity tab, and we can add data to the description field, and it accepts returns and shows the vertical scroll bars. Resizing the window, and the second column resizes with it. But there is no VIPstatus for this user. Let's check that XML again. The property name is case sensitive. Let's change it to match the user class extension. Seal the management pack again and import it into Service Manager. Open up the incident form, and on the Xapity tab we now have a VIPstatus in red. This video should be used in conjunction with the Xapity reference guides for extending the class and form layout that are available as a free download on the Xapity.com website. If you found this useful, please share the link. For any comments or suggestions, contact us via the website. Thanks for watching, and please visit Xapity.com to discover our tools for Service Manager.